Hey guys, today's Thursday, April 7th, and it is currently 9:30 p.m. Today's vlog will be more of a rant about the IA because some things went well, some things didn't, and I just want to share that with you. So I hope you guys enjoy today's vlog. I got out of school and I went home and ate. After I ate, I headed over to the church. I was there at like 2:50. As I was walking into the church, my heart was pounding in my chest. Like, I was psyching myself. I think that was the biggest mistake that I made during this whole IA experience. So, I'm at the place. I'm honestly scared. I think the biggest thing to remember when you're taking an IA, just taking a test that's super big, is that it all comes down to this 2 hours, but you have so many hours of your life that, you know, if you do well, then great. If you do bad, then who cares? It's just one test, you know? It's just like every other test. So, I'm supposed to be starting in like 5 minutes. But I'll let you guys know how it goes afterwards. Just get this thing over with. Bye, guys. So, I got into the church, and I was greeted by the AP Proctor. For those of you guys who go to Bonita Vista, you guys know who I'm talking about. She asked me to pick a piece of paper, and the piece of paper had a letter, and the letter corresponded to the poem that we were given. So I happened to get the letter I, and the letter I was in the baggage room of Greyhound. I was escorted into the church right in front of the cross. We had a table, a sheet of paper, an iPad with a timer that counted down from 20 minutes, and I sat there for 20 minutes analyzing the poem. I started running out of steam at around 15 minutes. Oh, I started running out of steam after 15 minutes had gone by, so I just kind of kept rereading certain parts and tried making sense of what they meant. After the person that was with Mr. Helly was finished and she walked out of the room, I was escorted into that room where Mr. Helly greeted me and said that we would first have the oral commentary, which lasted for 10 minutes, and afterwards take care of questions from either Equus or The Collector, which were the two novels that we were assigned this year. So the commentary began, and I spoke for a solid 8 minutes when he asked me what the dramatic situation of the poem was, and that's when the timer went out. He asked me 3 questions, and the questions were very vague. They're very personal questions about what I thought about the book. It was basically asking like, oh, what did you like about this part of the book? One of the hard parts for me was at having to hear the questions be said to me rather than me reading it and answering it based off of that, because I had to keep asking him to repeat the question, because as I was in the room, my thoughts were just going at 1,000 miles an hour, and I was just like sitting there with my pencil, and I was like, okay, give me the next one, give me the next one. I was really nervous, and I couldn't really bring my thoughts together. You know, I couldn't articulate my thoughts in a very structured way. And that's just one of the things I need to work on as a person, you know. I need to work on how I work under pressure. So I left afterwards. He didn't give me any critique, so I kind of took that as like a negative thing. I left the room, and I felt pretty bad about myself. I felt like I did pretty bad. I went to my car, and I just kind of thought about and reflected on what happened. I was just happy that it was all over with. That's all you can really do. Like, until you get your results, you can't really be stressing about it, you know? So we survived. I don't know how I did, but I stuttered a lot.
and I feel like I was repetitive in the analysis. But we're done. That's what's important. Definitely things I could have done better is I could have prepared more for in the baggage claim at Greyhound, I believe that was called. That's what I said it was called. I wasn't very structured in my response. It's okay, you know, like I can only tell myself it's okay because I'm already done, you know, like if I did bad, then you just move on. Like the best thing to do after a test is to recognize what you did good, what you did bad, but most importantly, like that you got through it. At your level in an IB English 12 class, you finish an oral commentary that literally everyone dreads. And I can tell you, like, it was nerve-wracking. I was nervous. I was really nervous. That's why I stuttered so much. I couldn't stop playing with my pencil because my thoughts were just running, like, at 1,000 miles an hour. So depending on your class, there are either numbers 1 through 10 or A through J, which are 10 poems. If you can, I would suggest talk to your friends who already had the commentary before you and ask what letter or number they had. And they always correspond to the same poem. They say that they mix it around, but all they do is mix around the letters, and then you choose one. And then from there, they just give you the poem that it corresponds with. So like, let's say the first part of Howl, section 1, is A. And if you happen to choose A, then that's the one that you get. Like, it doesn't change from day to day. Once actual week came, I found out that there was a correlation between the two. It really saves time, especially because the book of poems that we were given for Mr. Halley's class, Hal, there were more poems than we were going to be analyzed, and he told us that every single poem was fair game.
I believe that I could have worked on my preparation a lot better for the oral commentary and the book. Just at least bare minimum, just making sure that I have a solid understanding of each of the poems. I think that a lot of people kind of went by the gambling system. So there were 10 poems, and people kind of just studied like the poems that were easy, and they just kind of had faith that they were gonna get them. And some of them did, and some of them didn't. I happened to get one that I didn't really favor. It was one of the harder poems in my opinion. I got In the Baggage Room at Greyhound. And one of the hardest things today was reading the excerpt, just because it was such a small part of the poem. You really had to know the poem by heart and know about what happened when. I mentioned a few characters that weren't mentioned in the excerpt, but that was about it. I should have done so much more. All in all, I thought the experience of the IA was definitely one that I could learn from. Through doing the IA, I can look back at what I did correctly and what I did incorrectly, and what I can do better next time when I give an oral presentation or oral commentary. I really just am happy that it's all over with. I can finally work on the vlog some more. I can work on creating some better content, because I'm not stressing out about an IA that's coming up in a few days. So, I know today's vlog was more of a rant. I just want to inform my fellow friends on social media about how an IA works and how I was feeling, just to look back on it, you know, because down the road I'm gonna know that I stressed out about this IA, and I want to see when I succeed later in life what that one IA that I possibly did bad on or that I possibly did well on influenced how I was and became as a person. So, that being said, thank you guys for watching this vlog. I will see you guys in the next one. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye, guys.